Dr. Cable, thank you for joining us at the Crowdfunding Deep Impact Conference. As you know, we were keen to have your involvement and delighted because we know you're well known for your support for alternative finance. So welcome.
Thank you.
So one of the things that we're going to be addressing at the conference is really talking about the meteoric rise of crowdfunding in recent months and years, and its potential. At a meeting on Saturday, Baroness Kramer said that we must seize this precious window of opportunity and push for legislative and regulatory reforms to promote crowdfunding. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with her that this has got tremendous potential. I think the origins of it are as follows. It partly reflects the fact that we've been through this financial crisis. It's very difficult for many SMEs to get funding from the banks, whether it's working capital, investment capital, whatever. Equity markets have always been difficult for small growth companies, and particularly with the drying up of venture capital, that's become even more difficult. So we're looking for kind of alternative ways of doing things, and there are a lot of people around at the moment who do have cash, which at the moment earns a derisory return in the bank. So they're looking for equity and loan opportunities which earn a decent return, and I think that combined with the availability of new technology, which crowdfinance involves, you've got money, you've got the technology, and you've got a need. And all those things together create a potentially very dynamic sector. I think the one other element which has to be built in is trust. The danger of all new financial innovations is that there's some abuse of the system, some mis-selling, people lose confidence, the market collapses. We've seen this many times before with equity release and other things. So I think it is very important that trust is built up. It's important that we have a regulatory framework which is secure, not lots of red tape. We don't want that, but we need to have some form of regulatory oversight to provide trust, and I think the Financial Conduct Authority will be continuing its oversight of this sector in the right kind of way.
Thank you. Yeah, the trust issue and the regulatory framework is one that comes up most often. I mean, there's some really interesting statistics about the impact of the social media as a sort of substrate behind it, depressing the amount of fraud very significantly. But one of the questions we're going to focus on in the conference is, crowdfunding's already made a big, deep impact, but it's got a long way to go. And, there's a lot of potential for that. And there's a lot that can be done by different parties and different organisations. Would you comment on that, please?
Yes, I mean, I think we accept in government we have a role in this, both in terms of promotional work that we're doing in my department, in BIS, in terms of supporting non-bank lending or unconventional forms of finance, but also through the regulator to make the structure right that provides predictability and protection, but at the same time doesn't smother the innovation in red tape and stop it. One of the things we're doing to try and give some impetus is we're putting in a little bit of money. Two of the new crowdfunding companies, the Funding Circle and Zopa, will be getting funding under an initiative that we've launched. We're looking at other companies too. Yeah. Now, I just want to make it clear that the fact that the government's putting some taxpayers' money in it doesn't mean to say that these products can automatically be relied upon. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but nonetheless, it shows that the government has confidence in the sector, that we believe in it, and that we want to support it and we want it to grow.
Thank you. Yeah. Would you consider working with the crowdfunding industry? I mean, the government's done a lot in terms of SEIS and EIS support for business, and we know is working hard to try and get the money to where it needs to be. Is this something that we could engage on, do you think, in terms of finding ways to use crowdfunding as a mechanism to do that?
Yes, as you say, EIS, SEIS are quite important vehicles. I mean, the problem the government's always had in the past, going back over previous decades, with variants of the EIS scheme is that it was often used as a way of dodging taxes and it didn't actually promote enterprise. But I think we've now got the rules right, and the feedback I'm getting is that for entrepreneurs wanting to invest in high risk but high yield activity, these two schemes are very, very good. I mean, I'm not, the Chancellor, so I don't have direct responsibility for that. But it certainly seems to me that these, particularly if we're promoting equity investment and people operating outside the more conventional stock markets and so on, this is a very good vehicle, and we almost certainly will want to enlarge it.
Thank you. And again, I suppose this may really be more for the Chancellor, but if I might ask you anyway, again, I know that the government has been working to get the funding to small businesses that they need. Do you think the government should consider redirecting some of the funding that's not going through the banking system as you would like, to support the crowdfunding and if we can find the right mechanisms to do that?
Well, that's exactly what we're doing. About 18 months ago, I commissioned Tim Breeden, who was formerly head of Legal and General Insurance Company, to look at the non-bank finance market. And granted that the banks are going to become increasingly difficult because they're having to hold more capital, they're also becoming generally more conservative, we've got to look at a variety of sources of non-bank finance, of which crowdfunding is one, but it's not the only one. There is a growth of invoice discounting, asset-based finance, and of course equity type of investment too. And we're trying to channel money through a variety of these in order to act as a catalyst. I'm in the process of establishing what we call a business bank that will hopefully also provide funding that will go into new banking institutions or unconventional forms of finance. So we fully understand the importance of this and are getting behind it.
Okay, thank you for that. We're going to produce a report and some feedback from the conference. We've got a very wide range from entrepreneurs and business owners, investors and educators, mentors and coaches, as well as community and social ventures. Perhaps if we might feed that into you after the conference to help fuel thinking.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.